when we're working the shoulder structures, we have a lot of stuff going on. And I find it easiest to explore everything and move from structure to structure, from back to front or front to back. And that way you're not missing anything. Between your lat, you have your subscapularis, which is kind of underneath the shoulder blade. And then you have your serratus anterior. And then we go into intercostals and then down into oblique or up onto pec major and minor. So we'll work all of those structures, keeping in mind that for the serratus, it's that shoulder blade motion that you want to use. And for the same for the pec minor when you're deep. For the pec major, it's more of the arm motion. And for the subscapularis, it's more of the arm motion, rotation as well as flexion extension. So if we were doing the lat and then we wanted to just kind of fall off onto the serratus, we would just come forward and down a little bit and then trying to keep the ribs down. Because the serratus originates from the ribs onto the scapula, if you bring your scapula back and there's tension there, it's gonna pull your ribs up. So we wanna make sure we bring the ribs down, roll onto that serratus, breathe, let the ribs expand in your back, and then make sure you keep that breathing nice and calm, nice and deep. If you're breathing heavy, or if you're definitely not gonna be in the parasympathetic state. So these muscles that influence breathing, they can either help us or hurt us. And if we don't have calm breathing, it's very difficult to have the calming impact on the tissues that we want. So we want to make sure we're calm. If it's too intense, then use something softer, or just use your hand, put a towel over the foam roll if you need to. The subscapularis is, as I said, on the underside of the shoulder blade, so we can't get to it very well. But if you ride the ridge of your shoulder blade with the edge of something like a foam roll, you can get in there and you can at least explore rotation and try to improve your rotational quality. And then when we get onto the front structures, like the anterior deltoid, pec major and minor, we want to be more face down, and you can use any part of the foam roll. I like to use the edge a lot of times so I can really get in there. And then once again, we want to, for the pec minor, we want to use some shoulder blade motion, retraction, protraction, and for the pec, we're using the arm motion. We're getting as far back, up, and down as we can while we're rolling these structures. Again, with these, your rib is going to want to come out. So you want to try to bring the rib down. And now I feel it even more intensely because the muscle had to lengthen in order for me to bring the ribs down. So just remember to try to keep your breathing calm, try to keep your orientation sound, and do the best you can to free up those tissues. I promise you're going to move better.